This is KGW News at noon.
Portland Public Schools just announced its new masking plan for COVID. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenda Braxton. Oregon's largest school district is moving to optional masking for all students and staff. The new guidelines will begin March 14th. Every school district in Oregon will need to announce a policy by March 12th. That's when the state's universal mandate will end. Also today, former Beaverton Mayor Denny Doyle is facing federal charges for possessing images of child sex abuse. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, this happened between November 2014 and December 2015 when Doyle was serving as mayor for the city of Beaverton. He's accused of knowingly possessing sexually explicit images of young children under 12. Doyle, who's 73, lost his seat when he ran for re-election in 2020. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine if convicted. Doyle will be in court at 1:30 this afternoon. Cameras are not allowed inside, but KGW's Maggie Vespa will be there. She's also reaching out to Beaverton city officials and the U.S. Attorney's Office for comment. Look for her reporting starting on the news at 4. We'll also have more on KGW.com. Now to the latest on Ukraine. President Zelensky is pleading for international help as attacks by Russian troops become more frequent and more deadly. Still, NATO's Secretary General said the alliance will not enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine, adding that could escalate the violence.
Because that will be even more dangerous, more devastating, and will cause even more human suffering. So we have made it clear that we are not going to move into Ukraine, neither on the ground or in the Ukrainian airspace.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian refugees continue to flee into neighboring countries. Jay Gray has more on the growing humanitarian crisis.
Hey there, we're at the Korchua border crossing. This is more of a place where refugees can come and kind of establish what they're going to do next. Many of them just making it across the border, and this is their first stop. Some have been walking for 2 or 3 days, and when they get here, they get the opportunity for a hot meal, something that they want desperately. And so many have told me how important this has been to them. They can pick up supplies, jackets, blankets, clothes. There's a medical unit inside here. And the doctors are Ukrainian, but it was Polish soldiers that rushed in, rescued those doctors and brought them here. So they went from being doctors to refugees back to doctors again. There are 5,000 cots inside of this center. The director tells me if he had 10,000, double the amount, it still wouldn't be enough at this point. And unfortunately, we believe that we're going to see the number of refugees just like the fighting increase over the next several days. It's overwhelming to see the mass of people here who have left their homes and really now are looking for somewhere, anywhere that they can kind of take a breath and figure out what comes next. This is one of those spots. That's the latest right now from the Poland-Ukraine border. I'm Jay Gray. Now back to you.
Meanwhile, in downtown Portland last night, a large group gathered to show their support for Ukraine. Many have relatives there who are trying to survive the Russian assault. And some people who are from Russia are pledging support to Ukraine. They gathered at Salmon Street Springs to pray and stand together. That includes Sasha, who moved here from Ukraine 11 years ago. All of his friends and family are still overseas.
I just got a message from my mom that they're okay and they're hiding in the village. Everybody's scared to death. Panic is there, but people hug each other, people support each other, and staying on the positions and not going back.
Many at the rally said sharing the truth with people in Russia is critical, since so many of them are getting fed propaganda. They're asking people to share information from reputable sources on the ground in Ukraine in an effort to help stop the war. Now to an update on a story we've been following since last night. A portion of Highway 101 is closed after Tillamook County Sheriff's deputies shot and killed a man. Here's video from Sky 8 of the crash about an hour ago. The sheriff's office says this started as a car chase in Lincoln County. The man was in the passenger seat and reportedly had explosives in the car and was threatening to set them off. He was also attacking a woman who was driving. Deputies used spike strips to stop the car near Little Nestucca River Road between Pacific City and Nescowan. After a 2-hour standoff, deputies shot and killed the man. In southeast Portland, one person was shot on a MAX train last night. This happened near the Main Street MAX station. It's real close to Mall 205. A witness told us this all started over a fight about a dog on the train. A person reportedly hit the dog, then pulled out a knife. That's when the witness said the dog's owner pulled out a gun and shot the person. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. Police also say the suspect left the scene. Green Line service was interrupted during the investigation, but it is back up and running now. Police have arrested a man in connection with a quadruple homicide that happened in southeast Portland last year. Jeremy Lenore was arrested in Texas on Wednesday. The shooting happened last June in the Creston-Kenilworth neighborhood. Investigators say 3 men flew in from Texas to buy marijuana, but the deal went bad and a gunfight broke out at the house on Boise Street. 4 men inside were shot and killed, and Lenore took off. Police say he will be brought back to Oregon now to face charges. And the biggest fentanyl bust in Oregon history. Take a look at that picture. The feds and local law enforcement seized 150,000 pills and 20 pounds of the drug. It had an estimated street value of $4 million. Investigators also arrested 4 men accused of trafficking and distributing the fentanyl here in the Portland area. Right now, we do want to get you up to speed on what's happening in the Oregon legislature. There are a few bills that are now heading to the governor's desk. The first is designed to pay farm workers overtime. It's a step closer to becoming law after the Senate passed it yesterday. Opponents of the bill worry it will hurt small farms that have a slim profit margin. But supporters say giving farm workers fair pay is long overdue. Also on the governor's desk, a bill to help protect people in extreme heat. It limits landlord and HOA restrictions and ensures renters can install air conditioning units in their homes. The bill was introduced after almost 100 Oregonians died during last summer's record-breaking heat wave. And finally, the Senate and House passed a bill that addresses how police handle traffic stops. It also funds restorative justice programs. All right, let's talk about the Washington legislature for a second. It scrapped a proposed tax on gas exports after Oregon and neighboring states complained. The tax would have charged out-of-state buyers an extra 6 cents a gallon for fuel refined in the state of Washington. Governor Brown reached out to Governor Inslee, urging him to veto that tax. It was ultimately dropped from the transportation package that the House in Washington passed yesterday. All right, let's talk a little bit of weather on our Friday. The work week starting out really wet. We got drier as things went on, but the showers aren't quite over yet, right?
Oh, but we're getting close as the weekend comes. Here we are right now. Offshore, notice the circulation. This is a low pressure center. Notice it's dropping south. As it continues to do so, the rain chance should fairly quickly end this evening. Right now, most individual spots haven't had much rain today. We haven't had much in Portland or Salem. There are showers right now over the Coast Range and also some showers up in Clark County. Snow level for what's been mostly flurries up in the Cascades is setting at 2,500 feet. Here's a look at some breaks in the cloud cover looking out from the Astoria column, and coming up from our north or northwest, coming down I should say, is where we expect to start to see some clearing develop. 48 is the temperature right now. Downtown Portland, a couple of little thin spots. That's about it. We're also at 48 degrees and moving forward, 51 at 4. Maybe a little increase in sun break. Shower chances continue, but this evening by 8 p.m. I think we're dry. And then it's the weekend. We'll have that 7-day forecast, which is pretty good. That's coming up.
Love it. Thank you, Rod. Portland Public Schools introduced a new climate crisis response policy. The school board adopted it Tuesday night. It includes phasing out fuel-driven equipment like lawnmowers and leaf blowers by 2050. It also calls for electric heating in school buildings. We talked to one Grant High School student who was supportive of the changes.
I am excited to see PPS take this step towards climate justice. I am also skeptical of their ability to follow through on the promises and the commitments that they're making with this policy.
PPS will also offer more recycling programs, free TriMet passes for high school students, and new curricula to help students understand and respond to the impact of climate change. We'll be right back.